Okay, everybody, and welcome to What If Deku was DreamXd? In this What If, we're just going to start off with a backstory. Yes, good backstory, I would say myself. So, when I say dream, I mean DreamXd. It's just easier to say dream. So, yeah, just a heads up. And dream means is Izuku as well. If nobody ever got that in their head already. Okay, so Dream was walking around. Oh yeah, and this is what Dream looks like. He just doesn't have the wings out and that wings as well. And he's carrying around that trident thing with eyes. Nobody's this is in a different world right now. Dream is a god of destruction. God of destruction. No, he's a god of all seeing. He knows everything about everybody and nobody can ever keep a secret from him. So nobody ever tries to. Literally, if they want to, they literally go up to Dream and actually tell him to not tell people not tell people about something that they don't want people to tell. Dream is keen to his words. So sometimes he's not. If he gets bribed, he will. But there's nothing that you can really bribe Dream with. I'm sorry about this accent. I did a foolish dream, what if Deku was a foolish before this? And my voice is like this. So I might not be posting the foolish in the dream today, because it's literally like 8:51 at night where I am. So yeah. Okay, let me get into a voice of Dream. Okay, so when Dream was walking down... Oh, my voice back together. So, Dream was walking down these halls. These great halls where he lived. I'm just going to keep this voice. A great halls where he lived. He loved to walk down them and look at the pictures and paintings of gods and goddesses. Nobody ever knew what Dream's sexuality was. Nobody ever knew what he looked like. Literally all the skin they ever saw was his hands, and sometimes when he walked in front of his cloak with his feet. Some people were curious about what was under Dream's mask. So Dream had never told anybody. He lived amongst gods and goddesses all the time. And then one day, when they were gonna have a meeting with God is in control, but there's a meeting of gods. There's one God who made all gods, and that is God, and that is gonna just be what we know as God. The only God that we know of. I'm sorry, I'm saying God a lot. And they were having a meeting. Dream is usually the first one to get to the meetings because he has nothing to do. Because he was the all-seeing eye. That's what people called him, the all-seeing eye. He was sitting near the windows while people were coming in and talking. There was only about 10 gods who came. There were about thousands, trillions, millions, bajillions of gods, and different universes with gods. So different gods and different types of gods and different ways those gods are made and all. There might be a nice version of a god and then a mean version. All the original gods gather around. Those are the gods that are here right now, all 10. And the one God of gods. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm sorry if you can't. So Dream was sitting and usually never went to his seat. That nobody knew what the one and powerful God looks like except Dream. Because Dream was the second God, the first God to be created by God. He was meant to be his helper. He usually helps around the building and helps with other guards with their work as well. So, when Dream was sitting with the god, he said that Dream had to go to the the human realm, the human world, where there's mortals. That's what they call them, mortals. A woman down there by the name of Inko was going to have a baby child, and Dream was going to find a child. She couldn't give birth. She had problems. When she gave birth to her first child, he died, and they had to cut him out of the stomach, but doing that would probably kill the baby and make it so she could never have a child again. But if she keeps the baby in, she was gonna die. Just like my other what if, that's how it goes. That's the easiest way for me to do it, and there it goes. Why do I hiccup like that? So, when Dream was going to be placed back on Earth, Dream was going to be placed on Earth, he wasn't going to get his memories wiped and all of that. He was going to have memories. But just being a child's body, he was still going to be the age he was mentally. But the body wasn't. Physically, no. Mentally, yes. So Dream was after the meeting, Dream was sent there through a portal. He was a newborn in the forest. Inko was walking through the forest all sad because her husband left her. This is how all my what ifs are probably gonna go about Inko, if I'm making something. And Inko was hearing a child that was one. She knew the voice because she was a daycare lady. She knew the sounds of crying and child. She ran as fast as she could, thinking was hoping that the child wasn't hurt. She found a child placed in a basket, all covered and warm with blankets and toys. She took him home, was pissed that somebody was completely mad, pissed is the easiest way, pissed that somebody left a child out in the forest, a 1-year-old perhaps to say. He was left there with his mask, and the mask didn't come off. She was perfectly fine with that because there was a feeding. She could still feed him. The mask could go up, but not past his eyes. So it just went above his mouth and blocked the nose and eyes. So she could feed him. But the days went older, and he was turning 4. And she adopted him. She brought this to the police about how she found this child in the forest, and that she wants to adopt him, and how they should try and figure out who his parents were. I'm sorry, I just forgot. I just remembered something. Oh, fucking shit. My mind is going back to where I made my video of Foolish. Oh shit, I pressed delete. Or was it close? Ah, shit. Anytime I can make another one. It's not that hard. Foolish is the easiest one to make. Out of it. Okay, back to the video. Sorry. Okay, so. What the fuck did I just hit myself? Focus. Get your ADHD mind out of places. Okay, so that's how his life went. And he was 4. When he turned 4, he went to the quirk doctor. And Inko brought him to the quirk doctor, and they did some tests on him. And they said sadly that he had no quirk, and he had no wings, and this tiny. He had this tiny toy trident when he was when he was found by Inko. So he stayed with it. It also growed with him. So Inko told them about how she didn't tell them about how he was like the trident and everything else. So when so this is the thing. Dream does not go to the same school that he went with Bakugo. He goes to a school with a different person. Nezuko. Dream has the dreamXd. dreamXd has a personality that some would say not a fun one. He's not good. He doesn't give laughs. He gives terrifying stuff. He thinks it's jokes and stuff for him, but for others it terrifies them. And if anybody knows who that person was, 1 second. That person is George. A Dream usually, George was the only one that he could actually play with, and George, my fucking stuffing is coming out of this pillow. So George was the only one that can took Dream's, jokes for not being, terrifying and stuff like that. Let me get back to the picture. So, when Dream was playing with George, he told him about how he's quirkless. George said he had a quirk, but it wasn't very that good. It was a complication. It was a flexible quirk. It was flexibility. He was very good at He was very good at stretch. He could do poses he could literally stand on one foot and have his legs straight up, straight up. He was very flexible. And Dream was like, that's a good quirk to say. You could do a ton of stuff. You could how about parkour? Do you think you would be good at parkour? I don't know if I would be good at parkour, Dream. I haven't tried that. Well, you could probably be it's good. Try parkour. Then you could land literally on your pinky. Probably. George liked to, he technically did parkour when he skateboarded. George liked to skateboard a lot. Sorry, I dropped my phone. So he liked the skateboard mostly, nothing else. So it was easy for him to skateboard and stuff like that. That's how his childhood was. Most of the kids didn't make fun of Dream because they were terrified of him, because he was the tallest one in the class always, no matter what. If somebody was gonna get to his height, he grew 2 inches in a night if somebody was literally 1 inch lower than him. People don't know how, and that's how it just was. Dream being the tallest in the class always, no matter what. So when Dream was walking home with George skateboarding, they left a little bit earlier. So once they got to the tunnel, they walked a little bit further than what Izuku did in his. and was like on the other side when Dream heard something, and he told George. He picked up George and his skateboard and just ran. They looked behind them and they saw the sludge villain. Dream put him down and ran back to the sludge villain. And slapped the sludge villain. The sludge villain can feel pain, so he ripped him to shreds, stuffed him in a jar, and wrote a note. Here you go, from XD. What the fuck? Oh, my legs is just doing. Oh, what? I'm sorry, I have the mindset that can just be taken off by the littlest, slightest of light and sound in my room. He ran with George. He ran back to George and just kept on walking with him. All like this. Do I have a better picture? No. Ah, yes. Yes, perfect picture for him. Perfect. So, this is the great example I have. He was just walking with his hands like that and just walking like that. Next to George, there were about like 7 when this happened. And when All Might came out of the drain being, no, never feel, All Might's here, or some shit like that. And he looked around and he saw the note next to the bottle being like, here's the sludge villain, be more careful next time. P.S. This person has a malfunction of a quirk. You might want to fix it. That's why he's like this. From XD. But since All Might knows like the quotations, he thinks it's like those laughing smiley face instead of an X and a D, because it's a capital X and a capital D. Which that's technically what dreamXd's thing is. So he looked around and was like, he didn't see anybody. He picked up the thing like All Might's like time limit wasn't is longer than it is. So he could like All Might can still stay as All Might for a day and a half. A day and a whole night, and that's it. If he that's all he could do. His success is going to be Onimo, not Monimo, whatever that kid that can phase through stuff is, who solid objects is. So Dream just kept on walking, and George was like, what was that? Dream was like, it was nothing. Just something trying to harm you. I took care of it. But what if somebody opens the bottle? I left a note to All Might. How do you know All Might's coming? I could hear another person in there, and it was big, and it was All Might. I can never guess how you all. He saw the future, kid. They walked back and just like stayed at Dream's house. George liked staying at Dream's house more than his own because his parents didn't really like him because his quirk, they said it was too weak. Because their quirks were like different than his, and they were, they say much stronger. So Inko adopted George from them because Dream told him that he wants her to adopt George. And she did. So that's why he's now at his house. So when it was the day that the papers were thrown, so to say, at the other school, in the school that they are, it's much civilizer, and he's like, okay, here's the papers. Everybody write down what you want to be and what you wanna, where you wanna go in college and stuff like that. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Just gives it to everyone. Pass it back, everybody, please. And write down and come up to me, and then you hand it on my desk. Write your name, hand it on my desk, and then you can leave. Dream writes. He writes UA on it, and he looks at George's papers and sees that he writes UA as well. Actually, no. He looks at George's papers. Yes, George's. And he was writing UA, so he was like, okay, I'll go there then. He writes UA as well. When he grabbed his paper when he saw him done and walked up with him and just handed it on the table, being like, here. Have a nice 24 hours. He creeps out everybody in the class when he says stuff like that. And George is like, walks behind him being like, he's just having a fun time, guys. He's just having a laugh. He literally has to say that every time he does stuff like this. Says creepy stuff like this. His mother thinks he has a quirk because of how these days, he can't take off his mask even past his mouth. So he cut a hole in it and he's just like smiling. He can like unzip the hole and stuff like that. Unzip the mouth and just like eat and then zip it up and make the zipper disappear. He carries around the trident nowadays with the eyes. And he started to grow wings. Just 2 pairs of wings. Not 8 pairs. He only has 2. None on the head, just the side. And started just wearing cloaks. This trips me out a lot because it looks like it's just like he goes from stuff to nothingness because of how the way this goes. So it seems like he's just does he even have a neck? Is he just like a floating torso? I think he's just a floating torso. Jeez. Because he's predicted future stuff and like known stuff about other things without people telling him, like knowing secrets and stuff like that. So they went to the quirk doctor and put it down as a quirk because they couldn't explain, and they just put it down as a quirk. So it was the day that they were going to the thing, and he knew what the test was about and how the answers and what the stuff was. So he taught Georgie the answers and being like, he made a mix-up test, which is the same thing, the same written way and the same way. So he taught him about everything that he needs to know. And about how there's like stuff that's wrong here, here, and here. He's like, I put some missed stuff in there, so you have to fix it, and stuff like that. And he just like does that until it was a day. And he trained with George and his flexibility. Dream wasn't very flexible because of his big size and stuff like that, but he was still fast and he was still smart. When they got to the test, when they walked in, George tripped instead of Dream, and a rocket catched him, And then she was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then he stands up and being like, George dusts off and being like, "Yeah, I'm perfectly fine." Dream looks back, thinking he's still walking, and then he turns back. He walks back, and then he goes to George and say, "Hey, we need to go inside now." He looks at Uraka with a menacing face that she could just feel the tension out of him about the anger and how jealousy as well. And she got scared, and he's like, and then George, hits Dream, but it doesn't faze him at all, and being like, "Hey, stop that, scaring her." Dream just looks down with his smiley face mask and being like, oh, I'm scaring her. Let's go. Rocka's like, "Is this guy your friend?" With a question mark. Dream's carrying his staff and just like points at her and being like, "Shut the fuck up." George hits him again and says, not language. Let's go. I'm sorry about him. Just how he is. It's fine. Yeah, so he walks in and they do the test. George is like, he looked in the future and saw the test and gave me the answer. He looks at Dream, and Dream like looks at him at the correct time and being like, with a smiley face, and then turns back like, I know that I did that thing, like I did that way. He wrote down the stuff, but he waited a couple of minutes before he went down. President Mike was the one that was doing the thing. He's like, "You know it." He's like, "Oh, I forgot to tell him. Once you're done with the test, you can come up here and hand it in." Dream walks up once George is like, he stops writing everything. He's like, he stands up, goes down, picks up George, grabs his test and walks down with him. He's like behind him. And he's like, "Oh, I saw that kid that he did. Oh, that's why he was like that." And he's like, "I don't think you should be, you don't know if he's done yet." It's like, "Oh, I was done." "But how did he know?" "He probably saw me. He's known this for years. He knows when to do stuff and stuff like that." Dream looks at him with, like a face of happiness, being like, "I'm gonna kill you, bitch." like looks so happy and glad, but just has this aura of just, I want to kill you right now for just looking at him. George grabs him by the hand and he's like, "Come on, we need to go." A few minutes later, the thing for the other thing starts. He's carrying George. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah. George and Dream were just walking next to each other, minding their own business, and then, actually, Dream's walking behind George, menacingly at everybody, and everybody just walks to the side, because who wouldn't walk to the side if they saw a guy with two wings, two different wings? Dream actually grew these pair of wings as well, so he has 4 wings, and he's wearing this cloak right here. He's not wearing the crown, not wearing the jewelry, carrying a giant staff around looking like that shit. He doesn't have the wings on the top, he only has his thing. He doesn't have a necklace at all or anything, and just walking behind him like this with his fingers like that. And people could see under his cloak, and there was literally fucking nothing there. Jesus. Great ass picture though. And then Ida came up being like, "Sir, you're scaring everybody. Please stop. Sir, sir, may you please move? Can you stop scaring everybody?" George looks at him being like, "I'm scaring people?" No, not you. The man behind you, or woman. What gender are they? Oh. Wait. Dream, are you scaring people again? Dream looks down, just being like, her innocent face being like, nope. No, I'm not scaring anybody. They're just walking to the side because they think I look terrifying. And they feel the aura around me. Probably. If they have a strong enough one. They're weak. Ida's like, "You should not be scaring people." And Dream just mocks him back, being like, with his fingers being like, "You should not be doing this then. I am literally just walking here, and you come up being an absolute idiot, being a fuckface, and embarrassing yourself." And then goes back to his position of hand movement and like that. Dream. Let's just keep walking and leave this guy behind. George just pulls Dream along. Dream just starts float walking. People like move out of the way as well. Dream is like towering over everybody because of his height, and he's floating kinda. So if anybody knows the height of the tall character in 1A with the forearms, yeah, he's taller than him by 10 inches. Actually, no, that tall character is literally, if you line that penman up to the guy's, like, I think, hairline, then yeah, he probably could reach head, like forehead, like the top of his forehead, like, bumps into that. And then all of this is above them. So this guy's fucking tall. I'm sorry if I move into the thing, it's just how my excitement I go. Wait, what should I? Oh yeah, that should be it. Okay, so, the countdown starts. 3 opens gates. Dream grabs George and starts flying very fast, being like, "Hey, he's cheating." Being like, "There's no countdown in a real battle. Do what they're doing and run." They get some points and stuff like that. Dream Dream opens panels, and George just like jumps into them, flexible backflips, front flips, side flips, cartwheels in midair into them, landing perfectly and destroying the stuff on the inside. Jumps out, jumps on Dream. Dream's like a giant eagle to him, just like he's sitting on his back and they're flying. And they keep on doing this. Dream actually destroys stuff as well, just by himself as well. George actually destroys stuff by himself, but it's like literally only like 5 points that he did. He only got 5 points by himself, but with teamwork. Araka noticed that the 0 point was coming that way, and she knew about her. She could use her quirk to get the rebel off. And then she saw how like George flying through the air, being like, Rebel falls onto her, being like, perfect. 0 point was about to crush her, and she's like, help. Dream's like, Dream yells down, being like, use your fucking quirk. She's pissed, and George is like, I should go and help. We should help her. Dream's like mad and has this giant like aura of like fucking hate you, destroy you, fuck off, I'm jealousy, anger, I'm gonna kill everybody who comes near me type of aura right now. So when he comes down, he takes off the rubble. George picks her up. She's blushing, and then Dream sees that. Then sees George is gonna help pick her up, and then Dream's like, no. She could have a broken leg. We don't want her to stand on 2 feet, do we? Oh yes, Dream, thank you. Dream picks her up and just like stares down at her the whole entire time they're walking to the clinic thing, and whispering in her ear, whispering to her, being like, if you fucking go near him, I will destroy you, your bloodline, and everyone that you love except Georgie, except George. So she's terrified of Dream. Dream acts nice to everybody else if they act nice to him, but this bitch is trying to get George away from him, which Dream is just wants to stay with George. So I forgot to tell you the reason why Dream's down here. It's because they needed to have a god looking over this world, and all the other gods were busy, and that's why he's here. He knows he's a god. He knows he can just literally just snap his fingers probably and destroy the whole entire world. But he doesn't want him to make his Georgie sad, so he doesn't. God's just looking over him, just laughing. Dream looks up in the sky, being like a face of a stop fucking watching me. I'm trying to be happy here. Nobody else looks over each other's worlds unless each other say yes you can. God can look over everybody's worlds. So when they were doing the exam and stuff like that, when they brought him over, he kept on whispering stuff to her, and then set her down, being like, can you check her up, please? And then just walks away. Bell rings, and of course, Dream got first place, Georgie got second. When I say Georgie, I mean George. George not found. Georgie. George. Yeah. Hair mess. Yeah. I wonder how that got there. So, when, sorry for that midway pause, just something happened. I went to my screen for some reason. So, they were walking out. Dream just, flew them back. Sometimes he walks around, and people just, avoid them. Just walking out of the side, being like, I don't want to go near him. I don't want to die today. Stuff. And some people just go as close as they can, being like, I want to die. Please kill me. Or stuff like that. Being like, you're terrifying. You look like you would kill somebody. Please kill me. And then all those people who brushes against him, but doesn't go as close as almost touches him, but doesn't. So it's 3 days after they got the invitations saying, you made it into UA. Congratulations, you got blank points. From blank blank, I don't give a fuck blank blank. So, that's what that happened. It was the 10 months. They were still training and stuff like that. Dream was meditating and stuff like that. Inko got a job, and it was very successful. They got a lot of money in the 10 weeks 10-month period, month period. Actually, she was getting successful, and they got like very rich near the end. And they like bought a big area. Dream could already make money, but Inca was like, no, we're not cheating life. We can't cheat life right now. People will be suspicious. Once I get a good job, then yes, we can cheat life. She's like the mom who's like, yes, we need the money, but people would think like 10 steps ahead about people would be suspicious how I got all this money without a job. How many? So Dream makes money and stuff like that. And it's like real money. He made it. It wasn't money that was published. Nobody really looks at what type of money is real and fake. You could literally probably go to a store and like print off the same dollar bill and use it twice. Like they don't look at like if it's fake or real, stuff like that. Unless you're using a credit card, which you can't fake it. So when they were just like playing outside sometimes. Oh, their ages as well. They're like 13, both. 13, 14, yeah. So when they were like I'm just gonna do the until the end of the baseball throw stuff. So at the end of they actually started dating. Yes, finally my work has been completed. They started dating. Well, George asked Dream, and Dream just said yes in the calmest fucking matter in the world. George knows that he's more sarcastic when he's happy than when he's like meh. That's when he's happy. He's never seen him had a sad emotion. He doesn't know which way is sad. He knows when he's like not sad, but when he's just like down in the blue, just not feeling good today, stuff like that. So that's what they did. They bought like like a giant house, a pool, and stuff like that. They built it on a plot of land on a mountain near Endeavor's place, being like, "Ha, bitch, my place is bigger than yours. Fuck you. I'm not even a hero, and I have more money than you. And you're the number 2 hero." That's why Dream wanted to build a house there. So he went over to the neighbors. So-called. He did. George knocked on the door, being like, "Hello." And Deb was the one to open and being like, "Yeah, I'm busy right now. What do you need?" "Ah, I just wanted to say hi to my new neighbor." "What? I live in an area with no neighbors." "Then what is that place over there?" George isn't this like, "But my house is right there." He looks over, being like, he's like shocked that place is fucking bigger than his, being like, this person has more money. Where does your parents work?" "Oh, my mom's I'm sorry, I can't say what her work is." "What is it, like she does something bad?" "Actually, no, it's very helpful for the government." That's all I can say. "What?" "Ah, do I need to make it clear more? If I see you fucking touch your child ever, Dream, can you make it more clear for him?" Dream walks up, being like, "If you fucking touch your child ever again, or harm him in any way, and if we see a scratch from being hurt by you at all, we are gonna make you not be the number 2 hero, not be a hero at all, and have the worst life ever, put you in prison, and make you live there for the rest of your life and have the most miserable life in the world. Thank you, Dream. You're welcome. Can we come in? Sure. Hey, hello, hello. You must be Todoroki. You must be... What's actually Todoroki's first name? Oh, Shoto. Yeah, I just say Todoroki so much I forget the names and beginnings. You must be Shoto. Nice to meet you. This is Georgie. Hello, nice to meet you. Shoto. We're just here to say, if you ever wanna, be adopted by another family, we're happy to say we will take you up for adoption. Luckily, a split. He's like, could you? Unless you wanna try and make your dad not be the number 2 hero ever again, I suggest you stay. Why is that? Dream comes over and whispers in his ear like, we can make your father be a non-hero, can't go to be a hero, go to jail, and live life there. If you just stay around and get him angry enough to hurt you, and then you run to us, to our house, tell us about it, we can do stuff. But my mom wouldn't do anything unless she has proof, so get him as fucking angry as possible. And that's how you make that. And that's how you make cold soba. And that's how I made cold soba. Wait, you know how to make cold soba? Yeah, I can tell you in a few seconds. Georgie can tell you in a few seconds. We can also adopt all your other children, all your other siblings as well. If you can, we can also adopt all the other siblings as well. I'm sorry if none of you hear that. I'm very sorry. I don't know if the thing can hear me very good. Is this better? So that's how it went. It was the end of the 2-month period and 10-month period, and they went back to the thing for the first day. He walked in like this, and told Nozu that he wanted to make the a rule that you could wear whatever you want as long as it was not inappropriate unless it was and as it helped your quirk. And Nozu was perfectly fine with that. So he made a new rule that you didn't have to wear a uniform if you didn't want to, and you could wear what you want as long as it helped you with your quirk and it wasn't very inappropriate. So on the first day, he came in being like, doors just for me, perfect. Let's say Dream is literally like 2 inches taller than All Might there. Prime All Might, 2 inches taller than Prime All Might. That's how tall he can shrink and grow his size as well. So when he was fucking shit. I just want to check the fucking time. So as they were walking through the doors, he knew that Zoro was behind the desk, and he went over and put headphones on him, and was like that. Ida was yelling at Bakugo, and that still wouldn't happen. The same stuff wouldn't happen, except that he was like, Zoro woke up being like, why is it so quiet? It's usually never. Who put headphones on me? From it has an X on one side and a D on the other. Being like, who gave me being an angry voice, being like, who gave me this headphones? Dream raises his hand, being like, "Thank you. Can I keep these?" Dream's like, "Yes, you can." So they were told to go outside, get the uniforms. They didn't have to put the uniforms on because they could keep their clothing on because that added as well. So when they were outside, Dream threw the ball, got infinity through the ball. He's like, throw without your quirk. I was supposed to throw with. Oh, I was supposed to. I wasn't. I didn't use my quirk. It's like, what? He erases his quirk. He hides his wings, acting like he erased his quirk. Actually, no. He can't erase quirks like that. He can only erase it so you can't fly. He's like, try to fly. And he's like, he flaps his wings, but it's like, don't fly. He falls down. He goes up and then falls down. And then he throws the ball, got infinity. It's like, oh. So at the end of that, Dream got first place, and George got like third place, and Dream was like pissed at whoever got second, and that person was whoever else got. I think Deku actually got second in the thing. Was actually Bakugo who got second. And he just like absolutely hated him. So that was like the first day of school for them. And I'm gonna be ending it off for this. Bye.